which phase do you think that you're in based on your symptoms? If you're stuck in a conflict right now, it's really important to find partial resolutions, a change of attitude or distraction to decrease the intensity of your symptoms. This is so important because as you ease into the healing phase, remember that the intensity of the symptoms you're going to experience, so the pain, the fatigue, the inflammation, directly correlates to the size and intensity of the conflict at the moment that it was resolved. So when a conflict is initiated, it could be huge. And if you were to suddenly resolve it, your healing stage could be huge and really incapacitating. But if you have a huge conflict, you recognize that it's happening and you slowly decrease it, downgrade, find partial resolutions, and then ease into a total resolution. When you get into the healing phase, your symptoms are going to be so much gentler and less noticeable. This is really important, especially for any like cardiac related conflicts, such as overwhelm. Because if you have an incredibly overwhelming conflict that gets resolved immediately, that's when you have something like a massive heart attack. Whereas if you can slowly downgrade the conflict and then ease into it, you might only have some chest pain or some angina or something like that. Not to scare anyone, but this is why working with a practitioner is helpful, because you don't always want to just go out there and start resolving every conflict, because you could put yourself into a really painful and intense or even life-threatening healing phase. But that's rare. If you're stuck in the second one, a chronic repair phase, also known as a hanging healing, this is what looks like a flare-up. It means that in this phase, you would benefit from support to find practical resolutions for the conflict that maybe you've been unsuccessful finding in the past on your own. So having some professional support, by the time you have a chronic illness, this means that you have a chronically recurring or chronically re-triggered pattern of conflicts that isn't getting resolved in your life. So the help and intervention you might need at that point is going to be greater than maybe one little one that you're able to resolve on your own. Finally, if you are in the third type of situation where you believe that the original conflict has already been resolved, but you're still having symptoms, then it may mean that you need to identify the people, the places, the situations, environmental factors, weather, food, allergens, animals, that are triggering that subconscious warning. In this case, you might also benefit from professional guidance to rewire your body's perceptions and responses so that you don't have to avoid these things altogether. Like, if you're stuck on elimination diets, you can learn to reintroduce your favorite foods. If there's a pet you want to have, but you have an allergy, you can rewire that, or plants and seasons, things like this.